Hey YouTube, I'm Asia. I'm the owner of SD&D Logistics. I am a freight agent and this is my first channel, my first video, and I'm here to share with the YouTube community all of my experiences that I have been going through just to kind of create the space that I am in now, starting from dispatching to independent freight broker to freight agent. Like I have done a few things in this transportation industry, and it's been some ups and down moments, and but it's still something that I love, and I'm going to continue at it. So I'm hoping I can bring everybody on my journey so they can really see how I've come from one place to another and really just experience life in this transportation industry. So we're just going to just try to get into like just the beginning things that I had to deal with trying to get in. And of course, starting out, my husband is a truck driver, and he has been for nearly 30 years now. And in that, he, when he first started, after coming off the road as a company driver, he kept saying, I just want to start my own business. I want to, get on those low boards with my own truck. And I didn't know what he was talking about. I just kept thinking, okay, he know what he's saying. He know what he want to do. And I'm like, okay, well, let's see, where all this goes. So he stepped out on faith and was just like, I'm going to take the money I have and buy me a truck, get a flatbed. And he knew what he was supposed to be doing, but he kept saying, I'm gonna need you to help me. I'm gonna need you to help me do this. You're gonna be a dispatch. And I'm thinking, okay. And I don't know what all that entails. I didn't know what he meant when he was talking about dispatch. And I'm just, in my mind, I'm the wife helping the husband. And at this time, we got 3 young children. And I don't even know what I'm getting myself into. All I know is I'm the wife helping the husband. So now that he has left his job, he is now out there shopping for his truck. He has to get the tractor, he has to get the trailer. We're all over our state trying to, really get a feel for what's out there. Not really being able to buy anything brand new, but we're able to get something pretty decent. So, but it's taking a minute, and I am a home mom. I'm a home wife. I take care of the kids at home. He's the breadwinner. So now you up against some time. He's left his job, and now he's trying to start his own business. You don't have too long to be at home, but it did take a few months, and we were good for him to go ahead and get everything he needed, and getting got the tractor, finally got the trailer. But you got to get the insurance on those, and that stuff is not cheap. When it comes to having a big rig and trying to get insurance on your truck is a whole nother level. Okay, but then also now when it comes to being a owner operator, there's certain steps you got to go through to have everything you need to be on that, to be on the road and to be able to run the interstate. And so when it's time to leave the state, you got to have all those documents and paperwork to show that you are compliant. Okay, but now because we don't know what direction to take in that, we're having to really kind of, reach out to, trucking companies that kind of help with owner operators who want to start their own business and be up under their own MC and DOT number, to get all the documents they need to be on the road. And when you do that, there's a fee for everything. There's a fee for that application. There's a fee to get, everything you need. You have to have, your MC and DOT, your authority, you have to be on the road. Of course, I said you got to have your insurance. You really need like a service to take care of your road taxes, which they call IFTA reporting, where you kind of, report everywhere you have been, and you got to pay for that every quarter. And so you have to have that set up. Of course, you got to have your load boards. It's best to have at least 2 load boards. And if not, you can have one that you're paying for, but then you can have like a free load board. It might not do everything you need to do, but it can work, because we had Get Loaded at that time, and we also had 123 load board, which 123 is still popping. I don't know about Get Loaded because it's been a minute for that. Everybody's more on Truck Stop and Dat load board and all that good stuff. Those are really good ones too. But at that time, that's who we had: Get Loaded and 123 load board, which worked well for us. But all these different things, and I'm sure some more things I'm forgetting to say, and as I go along, I'll remember, extra things you need. When we started out, it was so high. We were just looking at having $750,000 in liability insurance, which we really needed $1 million coverage to get started. But we thought we could get started with 750,000 and it would be cool. Mm-mm. You really need $1 million coverage to get started in order to be able to do business with these companies out here, because it's really what they look for. But of course, we're not knowing that. And we're paying fees for all this startup stuff, not really knowing that in most cases we could have did this stuff ourselves and saved a lot of money. But we did take the steps that we needed to take. And of course, after buying the tractor and the flatbed that he brought, he has to buy all the tools you need to secure the load: 4 to 6 to 8 tarping, chains and binders. We had to get new straps for the truck. And in most cases, when you buy a used flatbed, if the flatbed is not in good condition or the best condition, in order for people to put freight, these manufacturers to put freight on your truck, your flatbed has to look in a certain condition. So he took and replaced the wood, the foundation on the flatbed, so it can look decent, so it can look, as new as possible, so it wouldn't be a problem for, freight to be placed on the truck. You're going to need dunnage and possibly a headache rack if your tractor does not come with a headache rack, and that's to protect you from certain poles and logs and things coming through your truck and injuring you if that ever happens. And all the protective gear, PPE, personal protective equipment, so that you're safe whenever you're out on any yard trying to get the freight that you need loaded on your truck. Steel toe boots and hats, which a lot of stuff he already kind of had, but anything extra additional he needed: straps, those little bungee straps for any additional securing the load, because when it came to securing that load, he secured his loads. But we'll get into those things later. So, but in the meantime, it was just so much that you had to do before even taking your first load, because these companies are going to request that. And you have to have like a packet to get started. So once you get started with your load board, they're going to request everything that you came up with. So you have to have your authority, your insurance. Is good to have a company profile with all your information on it. And me being the wife helping the husband dispatch, I had to be on all the paperwork, which was cool because they had to contact me whenever it was time to get a load, or I'm just requiring about a load, calling in. And then we also had to have factoring. If you want to get paid fast so you can keep moving day to day, if you want to get paid every day like we did, you're going to need factoring, because these manufacturers, these shippers are not going to pay you fast. It takes them a while to pay, and factoring takes up the slack for that. And we can talk about that later in some more upcoming videos. So yeah, like I said, this is my first video to share my experiences, and I want to go even deeper, like go get real with the in-between stuff that I've heard people say, but not really. And in my experiences, it gets, just so up and down when you have children and you're still the wife and you're dealing with a frustrated carrier husband who is out there on the road trying to make everything happen. And I'm still learning what it means to really be a dispatcher. It's real life, but it is definitely a glory in it, because you are running your own business on your own time, and you run when you want to, and you make what you want to. So it's still, a pride about it, something beautiful about, doing this whole thing. when you step out into this world and know that you have something that is your own and that you can, move the way you want to in it, it's really good. It's a good feeling, but it's definitely a lot of work. And I want to share those because I'm, of course, not just a dispatcher. I went on some years later to become a solo broker, and then from there became an agent, a freight agent. And I love to share with you guys is how I went from dispatching to independent brokering to freight agent, because it has definitely been a ride. And so, just talking about these things give me great joy because I'm still in it. I haven't gone anywhere, but it's definitely been just a ride. But we'll get into those things in some upcoming videos. So I would love for you guys to come back to see me. If any of this information helped you tonight, or if you have any questions for me, you definitely leave a comment about anything, and definitely correct me when I'm wrong about certain things that I'm listing, because I am still learning in this, and I'm learning every day, and I don't mind learning from other people who has been in this longer than me. It'll always help me. And that just reminds me of shouting out Brandon Scott and Bumblebee and Dennis Brown and Manny the Freight Broker, people who I have watched along the way to give me the tips and tricks that I needed to get to where I am now. I watch those people daily. Like every time I would get done with one, I would move to the next video, and I followed steps that brought me here. So I do appreciate those videos and those guys so much, because they did, help me out in my journey. So with that, I'm hoping you guys have a great evening and have a good night. Talk to you soon.